okay, if this is not, all this has been a problem, I've been causing the nuisance, the problem, the struggles where people are struggling, then what then is the antidote? What then is the solution, the medication that can prevent people running themselves into poverty? Or what can be the solution for somebody to get this financial freedom? Let me put it.
Yeah, I think financial freedom is, I think that word is overly used but not explained very well.
Mm-hmm.
So most people say, I don't want to do 9 to 5 and all these things people say, but financial freedom is a journey of, let's say, if someone makes 5,000 and he lives good off it and he saves it for the future, he's already financially free. He's not paying interest. He's working towards his goal. So financial freedom is technically is controlling what you have.
Controlling what you have.
Yeah, controlling what you have and also working to what you can achieve. So seeing possibilities of your income that can do for you. That's one of the things. Because the biggest tool that you have to build wealth is your income in the beginning. Later on, it can be a revenue, but everything, whatever you do with your income, you do the similar thing with your business. So financial freedom is you can live off your investments, your business or savings. That means you actually made a good discipline so you know how much you need. Most of wealthy people, you think they spend a lot, but they know how much they're spending. You know, there's a thing in a Saving Your Future book. It says, wealthy people, most of them, they're conscious of their spending. They may spend a lot for you as you see them like they're spending doing things. They may drive expensive cars, right? But they're very conscious. Everything is calculated either from taxes or from the revenue. Anything that breaks the bank is not going to work for them. That's why now most is like financial freedom is a delayed gratification. It's a journey of a continuous discipline of seeing where your money is going. See how can you leverage your money. See how you can access things through the system. You work for you and for the system at the same time. That's financial freedom. That means you become a productive citizen. So that comes, financial freedom is you having control of your money, knowing how much you need. There's a word we call FIN, financial independence number. So that's, we say 20 times of your income during retirement. Retirement has nothing to do with 65. Retirement is you have money to relax, that you're not forced to work. So that 20 times of your income is, we call it FIN, financial independence number, how much you need at that time. So if someone needs $2,000 a month and he's getting that, it's free because he knows how much you need. Nowadays, the problem is people are wondering, but nobody knows actually how much you need. I tell them how much you need. They say, 3,000. I say, but you pay this house, this. Oh, I need 4,000. Oh, I need 5,000. I need 10,000, 20,000. So there is no definite goal. So financial freedom is called FIN, financial independence number. How much you actually need. So if you get in that, there's a word saying, Dale Carnegie or Andrew Carnegie says that if a woman or a man have a small shop and that's what he wants to do, that person is successful. Because you already know what he wants.
What he wants, and then when you get it, you already got into the peak of what you want.
And he says also, if a mother is staying home raising the children, is that what she wants to do? She's a successful woman. Success is not measured through money. So financial freedom is knowing what you want. But nowadays, what the problems that happen is what you look at the celebrities. These are like 1%, 0.5%. Everybody wants to be like them. It can be possible, but how about in an income base that you run daily? So financial freedom is knowing how much you need and also generating that income through personal income, through business, and long-term through investments. You're free financially.
For a financial, also this, a happier financial life. Are there formal known steps recommended by the system, in the system, that somebody will look at and say, align with, like, what are the recommended system, like in a system of Canadian system that you can say, this, like A, B, and C are methods through which anybody could use to start a process. That process towards that a financial, gooder life, happier life in Canada for Canadians. What are the official, like some formal, like some people I used to hear, so they call names like retirement, this, savings, this. So what are some of those things that are known in the system that are the steps towards a financial good life?
Well,
Because I hear you talking about savings and investment culture. So that's why I want you to educate the people on some of those things, if there was something.
sure, I will address the first question as well.
Yeah.
What is the antidote to
Yeah.
poverty, right?
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that true financial education will help someone get out of it or break the cycle of poverty or debt.
Right.
I believe it's Trevor Noah who said, travel is the antidote to ignorance. And I could say financial education is the antidote to poverty or
Financial
debt.
education.
Correct. Be financially literate because you're dealing with money. Isaac mentioned about the financial FIN number, which is called FIN, Financial Independence Number. What do you want? You need to know what do you want. And then why do you want it? Let's say you say, I want $1 million. Okay, you know what you want. And the second question is, why do you want it? You specify why. And the third question, who is going to help you get to that position? So you need a financial coach. You need somebody to guide you.
Right.
I haven't seen any successful individual who never had a coach before. So I'll bring it back to the wealth or to living a happier life. There is this quote by Benjamin Franklin, the man on a US dollar.
Yeah.
He said, a small leak can sink a great ship. So if you have a great ship inside in an ocean sailing, and if there is a small leak inside it, what happens to that ship? It sinks.
Yeah.
Small
Over time.
Over time. It accumulates over time.
Yeah.
Those small leaks at home, subscription for Amazon, subscription here and there, they eat you up. And then they make people poor over time. By the way, you cannot lose or win overnight. Losing or winning takes time. You can't lose weight overnight. You
That's
can't gain.
correct.
You
That's
can't
correct.
gain
It doesn't matter how.
Even you run
Correct.
10 hours.
You could
You
actually
can.
Cannot lose any calorie.
You say,
Correct.
oh, he lost weight fast, but it doesn't matter how fast it can
True.
do overnight.
Yeah.
Correct.
When it comes to the system, you said, I believe you asked, do we have a system that helps people live a happier life?
Yes.
And I could say yes or no. Most institutions are here to expand their business. For example, if I open a convenience store, you come to me, what is my job? What is my intention? To sell,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
And your intention is to consume. So I produce, you consume. So are you a consumer or a producer?
Yeah.
First of all, if you want to win big and become wealthy and financially independent,
Right.
to break out of, whatever you're doing, you need to have clear goals, have mentorship. Isaac mentioned reading great books, I believe. The system will always help you to run around and you always get around and live within debt. If the system is designed that way,
They call it rat race.
rat race, is there another way out of it? For sure. By the way, there is a number that I'm always intrigued by, 95.5%. There is a great man named Jim Rohn. He said, 5% will always become successful, 95 will not. He said the numbers never change, only the faces. What does that mean?
Wow.
That's a good one.
People
That's a
live,
good
people
one.
die.
Yeah.
People get born, grow up, right? They work. They join. Some join 95%. Some join what? The 5%.
The 5%.
So to be among us the 5%, I could say, success leaves clue. Study someone's success. It's not a rocket science to find what success is. Define it first. What do you want? And then look at it. For example, I will tell you in this era, look at Uber. If you look at Google and say, how many drivers does Uber have, Isaac? He has close to 9.8 to 10 million drivers.
some
And
of
this
us
guy does not
some of us we drove
own
for
a
them too.
single car out there.
Yeah.
This is a conceptual era. You have to use your brain, God-given talent. So it's very clear to me that to become successful, just
Work your mind, not your behind.
let me close it this way. Let me close it this way. I heard Jim Rohn saying few years ago, about 7-8 years ago, when I start following the man, he says there is a great English word. It's called study.
Yeah.
If you wish to be successful, study success. If you wish to be healthy, study health. If you wish to be wealthy, study wealth. You have to study what you wish to be.
I want to add something. I want to add something on that. There's someone as a lawyer, right? So he was last time he was talking, and he was telling me, Isaac, there is something that I discovered. He told me that's called toxic positivity, and I said, how come a toxic positivity they go together? He told me they go together. Just wait a minute. He told me, okay, then sometimes we wish a lot, we want a lot, but we don't define it. So you're a positive person, but you're also toxic towards yourself because there's no action behind it. There's no backup. So when it comes to money, happiness, everybody wants to be happy, but they tell them, unfortunately, there's no way in Canada, right? So that means you cannot cut it off from the table.
Right.
But you're not even, but ask a counselor, find somebody that can counsel you on that. Hey, how can I do that? How can I do that? Is it possible? Yeah, it is, yeah. So they say, yeah. You get 10 of them, yeah. That means it keeps you, you start working. But he said producer earlier, find a resource that you can leverage on. Find a resource or find something that you can, take a water from, because information is the key, but also who you tell what you have is also very important. A lot of times when you don't have, you say 95.5. To find a mentor sometime, it may take 5 years. But a lot of people will give up on that 5 years because you're looking, you're positive, you're reading, but you find someone to actually change that thing to a business or to an idea so you can use it for you to produce money. But a lot of time people will say like, I studied a lot and nothing. Earlier I was teaching some of my church group that they from different places. So they were inviting me. I was telling them about setting goals. And I said, write it down, define it. How many goals you have? 20 of them, write them, prioritize. Then I said, second one, measure them in time and money. The third one, I said, put a deadline. But that deadline is not for quitting. It's for measuring how far you have come. I said that deadline is not for quitting. It's not like, when you put expired date, you throw it because it's poison. Mm-hmm. But for goals, there is no expired date. But to measure yourself, how far I did 3 years, that if I didn't do much, I need to improve. So I extend a little. The fourth one, it says, if you're closer to your goal or you're farther from your goal at the end of the time, right? Then figure out the people who helped you to go there or people who push you back. Then you have to say, these resources are good for me, these are not good. So those are not good. What do you do through time?
Put it away.
So happy life sometimes is called association, who you associate with.
Thank you. There is this word that has continued to re-echo in the both of you. This thing responses, which resonates with me, noting that information is power.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
I believe applied information.
I see that in the responses in some of the both of you, but there's this word that continues to re-echo, which looks common, but it's not common out there.
Yeah.
What is that thing? I hear you talking about financial literacy. I hear you talked about financial literacy. This financial literacy, I walked through school, from primary through university. I have not come to any class that taught me financial literacy. And I have no idea what school, whatever the financial curricula in Canada or anywhere else where we have the financial literacy. So, and you kept hammering on financial literacy.
Yeah.
So how do people, because if we say information is power, which means the system is not giving out the right information to the people, if financial literacy is important. So how would the people, because if they don't have it, they cannot do what they don't have. So how would people get to this financial literacy? Where would they find them? Do they have to apply for a new school? Is there a particular school that teaches financial literacy? or how? Please, can you put us a little bit deeper into that?
Yeah, I want to
Financial literacy.
Sure, I want to emphasize on the information is power. I believe I went to school for 17 years. I graduated from civil engineering.
Right.
I'm civil engineering from back home.
Right.
But when it comes to academic education, academic education is different. So academy will teach you, and then they will test you. Life will test you first, and they teach you after.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
That's indication.
So I remember while I was growing up, I heard these phrases over and over. Practice makes perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
And I have never seen any person perfect. You know what I did? I wrote it in every agenda book that I have every single year. Practice never makes you perfect. Practice makes improvement.
Yeah, new lessons.
Practice makes improvement.
You can improve it. I don't know. In my perspective and belief, there is only one perfect God. I haven't seen any human who is perfect, but I have seen very experienced individuals.
Right.
Individuals who worked at something diligently for years.
And produce great results.
Correct. So, but they're still not perfect people.
And they don't
Okay.
claim it.
So, and I heard another phrase, information is power, knowledge is power. I totally disagree. If you have information without application is nothing. So applied knowledge or applied information, if you act upon it, it becomes powerful. I'll give you a perspective. If I teach you everything about cooking, but you never go to the kitchen, you're going to starve to death unless you cook and eat.
yeah.
Correct? But you have a lot of information about cooking.
Correct.
But if you don't go and act upon it, you're not going to eat. So information is not power. Information can give you some light, but you have to apply to get the bigger picture of it. Let's go back to the financial literacy aspect. So I was academically an excellent student,
Okay.
but financially poorly achieved guy.
Financially poor.
Yeah, of course. You can be financially, academically educated person with master's degree, still financially broke.
You can't make money. You cannot make money.
By the way, when I came to this country, people advised me, hey, Philemon, you don't have language problem. Why don't you go to school? I said, what school? Finish high school. I refused to go to high school. And then they thought people started to giving you advice. Why don't you go to college or university and get a degree? And I still refuse to go because I don't need to get 30,000, 50,000 debt and study something that I'm not going to use it. I did some research. I asked so many people. An example, what did you study? The computer science. What do you do? I drive Uber. What is the relationship between these two? Totally different. So academic education does not guarantee success in the financial world. I heard this story. There was this student who went to university for a while, and then the professor was talking about stock market, investing, business, and the student asked the professor, said, hey, professor, have you ever owned a business before? He said, never in my life.
I'm out of the class right now.
So your teacher never owned a business but teaching you business. It's just theory. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So if I can ask any woman who never gave birth before, she can explain it, but she cannot articulate it the way a mother does.
Yeah, get to work, get the baby.
Correct. So financial literacy will help you get financial education. You can get it from different sources. By the way, if you read an incredible book written by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, I read it back in 2010, about 16 years ago. Somebody gave it to me. He opened my eyes. So becoming an employee versus becoming a businessman, it shows you the difference. Cash flow quadrant, whether you're an employee, a self-employed person, a business person, an investor. You can get education or financial education from different places.
So in essence, what you're trying to point out is that there's no particular area or school or event or program where you can they teach financial literacy. So it means individuals just has to go in all out searching for books and studying themselves. That's what you're trying to say?
Yes, there are great platforms as well. There are so many people offering now. If you go to YouTube, you can educate yourself in financial education. But the problem is, as I said earlier, whatever you consume, if you don't apply, it doesn't make any sense.